Hello guys, welcome to Talking News. Please hit that subscribe button, the like button right now so you don't forget. Also hit that notification bell if you would like notifications whenever I have a new upload. Okay guys, so I wanted to document this story on our channel at least. I am not an expert on this story by no means. There's so many of these sad stories I can't keep up. So this story is on Evelyn Boswell, the 15-month-old. Oh gosh, she's just so adorable. According to authorities, she was last seen in December of 2019. And so those dates kind of vary when she was last seen in December. But it's somewhere in between December 1st and then mid-December. But guys, the Amber Alert wasn't issued until February. So they actually found some remains that kind of make them believe that it might be this 15-month-old that went missing. So I might be hopping a little bit on this story. So like I mentioned, Evelyn, this toddler that went missing, she went missing sometime in December. Let's just say that. But according to authorities, they suspect that it might even be as early as December 1st. So to give you an exact date, she was reported missing on February 18th. And this was by, I guess, I'm not certain. Like I said, I'm not an expert on this case. I'm just kind of glancing over it. According to this article, Evelyn's grandfather told the Tennessee Department of Children's Services that certain family members had not seen her for 2 months. And it wasn't long that this case was referred to Sullivan County Sheriff's Office. It was shortly after that they actually launched a complete investigation with the assistance of the TBI and the FBI. Once her picture went up, according to investigators, they got hundreds of tips. And this case actually grew to span into 3 different states. Let's talk about Evelyn's mother, who is 18-year-old Megan, known as Maggie Boswell. When the child went missing, media did question her, and I haven't been able to go into detail on that yet, but what I could tell, she seemed to be legitimately concerned about this child. But as it was a short period later, it wasn't long for investigators to catch on and see that she was changing her story left and right. Evelyn was the mother, had sole legal guardianship over the child. But she told police that the child was with the father, Ethan Perry, before insisting Evelyn's maternal grandmother, Angela Boswell, had taken her to the campground in Mendota, Virginia. The police got on, all those little tips that she gave, and one of the first people that they went after was the father. But when they caught up with Perry, who was stationed in Louisiana on active duty, he's in the Army, they found out real quick that he did not have the toddler and the cute little Evelyn with him. In fact, police didn't even find evidence that she even crossed state lines. So it wasn't long. They actually ended up arresting the mother of the child on a charge of making up a false report. She remained in jail on a $25,000 bond at that time anyways. It was only 2 days after the TBI issued an Amber Alert on the child that they actually located the grandmother, Angela Boswell, and her boyfriend, and William McLeod, in North Carolina. Evidently, her and her boyfriend had fled the state in a stolen car, mind you, a BMW. So, of course, they ended up arrested there. So, shortly after they were arrested, the couple was extradited back to the Tennessee area, where they each face a charge of theft in a connection with a stolen car. And that stolen car was a 2007 BMW. But according to, I really haven't been able to go in grand detail on this story, but I hear that they are out on bond. So according to the theft warrant, Megan Boswell planned to buy this BMW from the relative of her boyfriend's, who is Preston Hunter Wood. And this is for her mother, who never signed a purchase agreement or paid for the car. Now, the boyfriend's grandmother, Mary McLeod, later told authorities that McLeod came to her house in North Carolina in that BMW and asked for money. She said he was soaking wet and claimed that a pipe had busted in a hotel room. I guess he told her that he and Angela, his Boswell, were staying at a hotel nearby. But Miss McLeod said that Angela Boswell never come in. She just stayed in a car during her grandson's very brief visit. Meanwhile, investigators are dealing with this mother. They're catching on that she's just lying every which way. So one article says this is basically what happened with her. So Evelyn's mother, who is 18 years old, known as Maggie Boswell, stood accused of lying to police from the moment that the investigation began. One of the investigators, Cassidy, said, quote, "Every time we talk to her, her story changes. I'm serious when I say that. Every single time," end quote. Now, investigators also said that once they located the grandmother and her boyfriend in that area in North Carolina, they actually decided, to check out some of the areas around McLeod's home. And so they actually searched the pond that was nearby there and a few other places, but they come up with nothing. Now, the sad part about this story is usually whenever you see something like this, there is not a pretty background. And according to a Knoxville, Tennessee article, it says that Evelyn Mae Boswell, which is the toddler that went missing, or the Tennessee toddler went missing in December, and was born into a chaotic teen mom household whose childhood had been marred by domestic violence and family, isolation and dysfunction. A Knox News investigation said that they got this from the court and public records. So Evelyn, like I mentioned, she's only 15 months old. She had just the most beautiful reddish blonde hair and the biggest blue eyes. She's just adorable. I've watched a few videos on her, and she just looks like the most perfect baby in this world. What could such a child do for anybody to harm her? The whole nation was searching for this beautiful child, and it was several weeks. I mean, they were having to deal with this mother giving them the runaround. They had a very late start, actually, knowing that the child was missing. And those are critical hours, those first 48 hours. So investigators were actually cheated on those hours. And to imagine that they come in this late, like they did, and made the progress that they did an exceptional job, I have to say. Now, I would like to give you the date that the Megan Boswell, the mother, was arrested. She was arrested on February 25th. And like I mentioned, she was on the charge of filing a false report. Investigators said also that her inaccurate information the case was suffering from that information. They just really were struggling. Her lies impeded the investigation not once or twice, but every time she spoke, according to Cassidy. Sadly, I just don't have a lot on this case. I did want to share what I could. I wanted to document it so that we have it on our channel, because it's important that we raise awareness. These kind of things are they're growing. And I want to say that a lot of times when you read articles, they'll say, crime's going down, but that's not the truth. And when parents hurt their own children, that's probably one of the most shocking crimes there is. And I want to talk about that type of crime, which is called filicide. If you've never heard that word before, filicide is the killing of one or more children by a parent, step-parent, or other parental figures, so guardians. And there's a few people doing some research on this. And let me tell you guys, it is shocking. Right now, I mean, I don't know what the latest information is, because we usually don't get that until way later. But what they have researched, 94,000 rounded off filicide arrests were tabulated over a 30-year period in the U.S. And the sad thing about it is filicide took the 15% out of all homicides during that period that they did the statistics and research. Guys, I just told you 15% of all homicides. That is absolutely crazy. They go into very detailed information on this. If you want to check that out, maybe you can go to the journal Forensic Science International. Check that out. But basically, they're saying that we have this kind of stuff happening 500 times in a year in our country, the USA. And the age is from, newborn up to old adults, up to 40 or even higher. They give you reasons that try to explain why parents do these type of things, but really, there's no explanation as to why. Someone is so sick in the head, no matter what the circumstance is, that they have to take their own child's life. And as you know, guys, this channel is here to raise awareness, and I want you to pay attention to the children around you. There are signs, and I might do another video where we go over that maybe sometime soon. Now, there's an author, co-author, Cheryl Meyer. She has several books out on this subject if you want to check that out. Now, what's really shocking to me is they're saying that there's more than 40% of these killers and these crimes, they were mothers. And then you have the fathers making up 57% of those who killed their own offspring. So I'll give you a few examples as to why they do this. They say it's an unwanted child, a parent that hurts their own child that he or she regards as a hindrance. And then the other reason is acute psychosis. According to this article, this means that a parent kills a child based on the ideas that are, inconsistent with reality. For example, the parent believes the child has been possessed by the devil. If I remember correctly, was that AJ or Noah? Anyways, we have had a case this year. There's been so many of them. We had Malia Davis, not this reason, but her life was taken by a step parent. Okay. We have Noah, we have AJ, and there's so many more just in this year. We need to wake up and be very aware about these very sad cases. And then one of the other reasons, which is sad, is spousal revenge. So the parent hurts the child in effort to, exact revenge on the other parent. And that happens so much. Sometimes it doesn't end in, life. Sometimes they abuse children in a way to get back at another parent. So we just had this new case, which I feel might fit in there. And that's the case with Gannon, or G-Man. I really feel like that stepmother did what she did to that child in order to get back at the mom. And I think she took it just a little bit too far this time, farther than she wanted to. And now, we've heard about that case as well, that on the Gannon case, the stepmom was arrested. I don't have my notes on this one in front of me, guys, and that's new to me as well. But I did hear that she was being extradited back to, I think it's Colorado, is it, guys? If I don't have it, I'm sorry. And on her way back, she managed to get out of the cuffs and struggle with one of the officers that was escorting her back. And what I hear is it was so bad that he ended up being treated at the hospital. I think it ended up being in a 12-hour delay for these guys, but she ended up getting, you know, brought back anyways. But this lady is a complete nut job. What is her name? Oh, I got it. Her nickname is T. Guys, I'm doing too many stories. They're all starting to run together. But, you know, they still haven't found him either. And it's very sad. And then we had this adorable baby, Evelyn. I am so, oh my gosh, it's so heartbreaking. I just don't understand how anybody could have hurt something so precious. Especially babies, because our instinct, I don't care who you are, you don't even have to be the parent of the child. If you've seen a toddler standing on the street alone, you're going to instantly have an instinct takeover that says, maybe you ought to look out for this child, not hurt the child. And that instinct is pretty strong, even for strangers. So imagine a parent, and to have a parent that is able to go above that instinct and hurt their own child to the point they take their life. I just don't understand it. So hopefully they do have the grandmother, you know, they had her behind bars. They really, they found, I wanted to tell you where they found her. I'm sorry, I almost ended it and didn't tell you this. Okay, so Evelyn Mae Boswell. So this is new information that developed on that case. And the TBI agents and the detectives with the Sullivan County Sheriff's Office said they searched a property that belonged to a family member of Evelyn's mother. So Megan Boswell, the property was on the 500 block of Muddy Creek Road in Bluntville. I didn't get much information on this, but they said during that search, investigators discovered human remains believed to be those of the 15-month-old girl that was missing. So, yeah. I mean, could it have been an accident? They panicked and started acting crazy. It could have been for the fact that Megan said the reason why she lied to investigators, at least, you know, I don't know if it's true or not. She says she did it to protect her mother. So she knew what happened to the child the whole entire time. At least it seems like it. Okay, guys, I've done several stories today, and I'm absolutely whooped. I would like to take a little bit of a break today. I need to do some picking up in my house. Take a break from these stories because they're starting to get to me. Especially this baby. Probably watch a comedy and have dinner with my family. So, guys, I'm probably going to even cut the goodbyes short. So, I love you guys. I do appreciate you guys watching this video, and I appreciate all the positive support I get here. You guys are amazing. Love you, and I'll see you soon. Here's a few extras for you guys.
There was various